So first thing we're going to do is bring ourselves down to the mat. We're going to get our feet and knees hip width apart. We're going to lower ourselves down to the mat. And we're going to put ourselves into that nice relaxation position where we're in neutral pelvis. Nice and neutral lower back. There should be no tension in the lower back, no tension in the hips. And I want the arms down by the sides. And starting off as ever, nice and steady. Take a big breath into the base of the ribs at the back. And as you exhale, empty the lungs and just feel the powerhouse soften down towards the spine. What's really happening is you're just starting to hug your midline. So it's big breath into the base of the ribs at the back. And as you exhale, emptying the lungs. And just keep doing your body checks. Pelvis in neutral. Breath into the base of the ribs. And as you exhale, just start to hug that midline. Now what I want you to do is use the breath with the movement of your levers, legs and arms. So start challenging you to lengthen out a little bit more in the powerhouse and make you stabilize the pelvis. So on the in breath, you're going to go right arm back, left leg forward, keep your ribs connected. Exhale, draw back to center. Inhale, alternate. Exhale, pull back to center. And again, inhale, reach, challenge that powerhouse, lengthen that powerhouse, pull back to center. Collarbones open. And return. And inhale. And exhale. Just one more. And return. Now, just press the arms into the mat for a second. Open the collarbone. Have a little look over your right shoulder. Keeping your left shoulder nice and still. Back to center. Look over the left. Keeping the right shoulder nice and still. And then back to center. Now this time you're going to bring both arms up. Definitely keeping the ribs anchored. On the in breath, you're going to take both arms to the wall behind you. On the out breath, you return above the chest. So it's inhale, reach. Exhale to return. Inhale, reach. Exhale to return. And again, nice reach. Finding that length, keeping the ribs anchored. Exhale to return. And reach. And return. Now, still using the in-breath, you're going to go both arms back, right leg goes forward, so you've got 3 levers helping you stretch out your powerhouse, but then you've got to use that connection to pull you back to center, maintaining your length and maintaining the stability and shape in the frame. And we alternate the legs. So inhale, both arms go back, exhale everything back to center, reach and return. Inhale and exhale, and one more, and back to center. Now, just bring the arms down by the side for a second, then just bring your knees into the chest and give them a little hug. Place your hands on your thighs. You want your legs hip width apart still, and you want your shins parallel to the floor. If they're a little bit higher, the feet higher than the knees, that's fine. But ideally, shins parallel to the floor. A little press into the thighs to set up your powerhouse. Then bring the arms into the mat. And you're going to go for your little toe taps. Inhale to reach. Exhale to return. Inhale, reach. Exhale to return. Exhale to return. You don't have to necessarily tap the mat. You're waking up the body. You're referencing the powerhouse. And you're challenging the powerhouse. And also you're opening up and freeing up the hip joint by working into your center. One more. Now one more to the left. Back to center. If you want a little body check, you can push your hands back into the thighs. Hands down by the side. And you're going to go into your double. So you inhale, reach. Exhale, return. Inhale. Exhale. And reach. And return. 2 more. And then just last one. Reach. And return. And then again, just give the knees a little hug. We'll go feet and knees together. A little bit more relaxed, arms out to the side. Just go for a little hip roll. This is just a release at the moment, so it don't have to be too connected. Just as long as you're protecting yourself and you're just getting a little rotation release in the lower back. Now, we're going to go into your 100. So, listen to how you feel today. So this isn't about a massive workout and over endurance. This is about just getting the body woken up and giving a little stretch out. So you're going to go double knee fold, hands into the thighs, arms down by the side. If you want to start there with your beats, keeping your head down, great. If you want to lift your head up to the base of your shoulder blades, you can, but we're still breathing in for 5 and out for 5. If you want to lengthen the legs out, maybe lower them down to 45, you can. Obviously, if you want to go a little bit low, you can, but I don't want to overcook it. Because as I say, this is just about a nice steady workout, finding your connection. At any point, you can bend the knees. At any point, you can bring the head down. That doesn't mean you have to. You just listen to your body. We'll just do 10 more beats. Draw the knees in. Then, hands behind the thighs, rock up to sitting. We're going to go with the feet and knees together. And your knees are bent. We're going to do a little half roll back. So we're going to have the arms out in front, shoulders down. You're going to lift up in the powerhouse. You're going to pull into your C curve. I'm still looking at the wall in front of me. I'm stretching out to the wall behind. You exhale, return in your C curve. And for today, shoulders over hips, restack tall. Pull back into your C curve. Go about halfway, maybe a little bit further. Return in your C curve, shoulders over hips. Restack nice and tall. And again, pull back. Open the hip flexors. Open the front line. As you return, try and keep that front line nice and open so you stretch the back line. And up. One more. Rolling back. Return. Shoulders over hips. Restack. Now we're just going to do rolling like a bull balance control. Bring your feet off the mat. Grab hold of your shins. Look at your heels. And all I want you to do is from balance control, go to tipping point and then apply the brakes. So it's a little inhale to tipping point, apply the brakes. Inhale, tipping point, apply the brakes. And again. And then just one more. So we're not rolling today, just balance control to tipping point. And then hold for a second, feet down. I'm just going to slide forward on the mat a little bit. Going to bring the knees into the chest again. And you're going to get your shins parallel to the floor. Now again, we're going to do single leg stretch. You're in neutral. You can either keep your head down, guide the right knee in, extend the left leg out. And again, you're just taking your extended leg to a height that you can stay in neutral through the pelvis, but at the same time challenge the powerhouse. If you feel okay to curl up to the base of your shoulder blades, you can. Just opening the hips, just take the time. And reach, and reach, and reach. We're just going to do one more set. And then we'll draw in from there. Bring the head down, a little rock from side to side. If you want to do circles, you can do. Releasing the lower back. Now, I want to do double leg stretch, but with the hands behind the head. So we're going to go one hand on top of the other, behind the head, elbows in your peripheral vision. Now, if you don't want to lift your head up, I'd still have the hands behind your head and still get a little press of head into hands. Otherwise, you curl up to the base of your shoulder blades, press the head into the hands. On the in-breath, you're going to stretch your legs out to a height that challenges your powerhouse. Exhale, you're going to pull in. Keep it neutral. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, pull it. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, pull it. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull in. All we need is one more nice big stretch. Maybe hold for a second if you can. Then pull back in. Hands on your knees, head down again. Just a little, either rock from side to side or a little pull over the knees. Hands behind the thighs, a little rock up to sitting. We're going to go into spine stretch forward. Use the width of the mat, or you can go a little bit wider. Little softness in the knees if required. Feet flex back. I want the arms out in front, shoulders down. And I want you to just lift up in that powerhouse. Try to lead with the top of the chest. And you're coming up and over, and just let the arms go with the movements. The arms or hands will end up touching the floor. I inhale to re-stack up against my imaginary wall. Head comes up. Exhale to come up and over. Shoulders wide, shoulders down. Arms just get taken on the movement. And then you inhale, re-stack. Lift up nice and tall. Just 2 more like that. Exhale. Try to empty the lungs. Try to keep the pelvis still. Collarbones wide. Inhale. Restart. Last one. Up and over. Inhale. Restack. Head comes up. Now just have a little stretch from the hips. So you can either grab the feet, ankles, shins, and just have that little assisted stretch. Just a couple of breaths there. Let the head drop. Pull the tummy back. Push the heels away if that feels okay. And then just coming up to sitting from there. So what we're going to do is bring ourselves down into prone or onto our tummy. Now, I'll just take the microphone to the side. So we're going to end up, lay down, and I'm going to get you to first of all do your first bit of mid-back extension. One hand on top of the other, forehead on the hands, collarbones nice and open, legs hip width apart. Take a couple of breaths just to get into that position so pelvis is nice and neutral. And all I want you to do is keep your hands down, lengthen through the back of the neck, and just lift the top of the chest to the base of the sternum. And at the moment, we're keeping the back of the neck long and just lock in at the hands. Exhale to come down. Don't rush. Inhale, up we come. Nice long in-breath. If you need an extra breath. And then exhale to come down. You're really trying to keep your powerhouse long. You're trying to hug that midline. And you're only ever lifting up to the base of the sternum when you're doing your mid-back extension. Neck is long, shoulders open. Exhale down. Just one more. That's it. Lift up. Take an extra breath. And then we're going to come down from there. Now we're going to use the hands still as a pillow. Legs are hip width apart. You're going to do 5 each side. Push your pelvis away through to the sit bones. Hug your midline. Now challenge that position. See how high you can lift your right leg. And then lower. Stay with the right side. Go again. Inhale, lift. Be really honest. Your leg will not come up that high off the mat. Exhale to come down. Keep pushing the pelvis away. Hug the midline. You're allowed to use the left leg just to help balance you out. And one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. We'll change to the other side. 5 this side. So it's inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale to come down. Hug that midline. Inhale, lift. Exhale to come down. Keep pushing the sit bones away. A little bit of biased into the tailbone. Just a touch. It's about length. I don't want you to feel like you're tucking the tailbone under. On number 5, you'll come down. Now, you're going to raise the right leg again. You're going to do 5 circles each way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and change. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and lower. Over to the other side, exactly the same. Left leg comes up, and then you circle. Massaging the hip, but most importantly, challenging yourself to keep the position of the pelvis and the frame exactly the same. Change direction if you haven't already. Just counting them out, 5 each way. And then bring that left leg down. Now, raise, don't overlift your right leg. Just get it so the pressure is off the knee. And you're about in the middle of the thigh. Now, reach out through to the knee and take the right heel to that right sit bone for like a pre-Pilates single leg kick, and then lengthen out. And 4 more like that. Squeeze it in. Hug the midline. Lengthen out. Keep the knee lifted. Keep the knee and thigh at the same height as you pull the heel into the sit bone. And 2 more. And then just 1 more. Change over to the other side. We'll bring the left leg off. When you're ready, challenge your position. Just bending at the knee, pulling the heel to the sit bone. Pulling the heel to the sit bone. 2 more. And last one. Then from there, lower the leg down, bring the hands underneath. You're going to sit back into a nice rest position. And again, just have a couple of breaths there. If you want the arms extended out, you can go with that. If you'd rather bend the elbows and almost put the head on the hands, you can do that. And then we're going to come up from there. We're going to come back down onto the mat, lying down. Now, just clip that up. So we're going to go into bridge. Feet and knees hip width apart. Pushing the pelvis away. So this is how I want to do it today. I want you to think about the bodies in a flat back, reaching through to your sit bones. You decide how close you want the heels to your sit bones that's the most comfortable for you. I'm constantly thinking pelvis away from ribs. And then I just almost lift in that flat back as if I'm hinging from the shoulders. And I'm just going to lift up into that bridge. Going to keep reaching, sit bones through to knees. And then I'm going to massage down. So I'm actually rolling down through the spine back into neutral. I'm going to very slowly lift up, flat back. Keep pushing sit bones away. Keep pushing pelvis away from ribs. As I get higher, I'm going to hug deeper into the powerhouse. Find the glutes, find the hamstrings. Open the hips. Massage down. And again, lift, open the hips. Reach through to the knees. But it's always ribs, powerhouse, pelvis, sit bones, then the knees. And then roll down. And then, going to get you to bring your feet and knees together again. Take your arms out to the side, a little bit more controlled. Keep the feet stacked. You can, if you want to, you can look over the opposite shoulder. You don't have to. If you prefer to keep the head up to the ceiling, not a problem. Pull back to center. So go powerhouse, pelvis, which reaches the knees over. Look over to the right hand. And then back to center. And again, reaching over. And back to center. And then just going to make this the last one. Back to center. Arms down by the side for a second. Then lengthen out the legs. Take the arms behind you. Now, just let the arms reach behind. Let the legs relax out. So if they roll out to the side or roll out into a little bit of external rotation, let them. If the ribs are flaring off the mat, let them. And just recognize that they are lifted off the mat. Just have a couple of big breaths there. If you want to close your eyes, you can do. Then bring your knees in. Hug your knees. Give them a little pull of the knees into the chest. Stretch out the back. Hands behind the thighs. Come up to sitting. Then what I do is just Lengthen out the legs, whether you've got bent knees or fully lengthened out, and then just have a little reach over there before you come up to standing. So a couple little breaths in there, just a little stretch over the thighs. And then you're going to restack from there. And that, hopefully, as you just nicely stretched out and released. So it's not been too hard a workout as such, it's just been to open you up and wake you up a little bit. Well done.